Welcome back to Drift Delvers, episode 20. Happy New Year, guys. Happy 2025.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I hope you enjoyed at least one day of this year.
2024?
No,
or 2025?
Yeah, like, because I know it's gonna hit us quick. It's already hit me. Don't really want to talk about it, but I hope that that you guys at least had one good day of 2025 already. We're on day 3.
I've been sick, so
no go for Zach.
Not yet.
No go for Adam. Dustin, did you have a good day in the last 3 days?
Yeah, I have been sick as well, but you know,
perfect.
It's still been good. Except, the first I did drive 12 hours in one day. So, I drove 8, and then I had the kids with me, so it turned into 12 hours.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was fun. That was real fun. That was a nice experiment to get through. All I got to say is thank God for tablets. I know some parents out there are like, no tablets, screens.
Yeah,
on a long car ride.
Those parents haven't taken their kids on a long car ride. Every parent I know who's like no to tablets and then takes their kids on a long car ride converts.
Yeah, exactly.
We're stuck at Best Buy.
But it was a fun car ride, though.
The only thing that I would ask of you is teach your children how file folders in Windows work. Just at some point, teach your children how file folders work, because apparently this is a thing. This is a skill that no longer exists amongst the youth.
How old is Ollie now? 4?
He is almost 7.
Almost 7. Jeez, yeah. You're already late.
Can your nephew navigate
file
folders in Windows, Heath?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. Probably not.
He's like 11 years old, right?
Yeah, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
because that's the thing. They all use phones and tablets.
Shit.
They don't use actual computers.
Right.
I know, but that's only gonna be the case for so long. You see, before you get a job, and then you have to use a computer.
Maybe.
Ollie's gonna know. Ollie's gonna know. I'm gonna take that advice to heart. He's gonna know how to navigate Windows.
Well, we deviated a little bit. Heath, have you had a good day in the last 3 days?
Yeah. I am not a parent. However, I'm an uncle of many, and so I've been watching kids for a week. So I've built an enormous amount of Lego. They buy the little box kits or whatever. I've built 4 Lego kits in the last 3 days, 3 or 4 days, and I enjoy it, but not when it's for someone else who is interested for 15 minutes and then fucks off, and I just have to do it for them. Which has happened 3 of those
4 times.
Yeah.
I got a gift card to Lego for Christmas, and I bought one of those big ass sets. I got the medieval village.
Oh, hell yeah,
I'm about
dude.
halfway through it. It took me about 7 hours to get halfway through it. I still got a whole nother set of buildings to do. I love it. I love putting them together. It's very zen for me. So I guess I did have a good day then to do that. So that was good. John, did you have any good days in the last 3 days?
So I've been ordering a bunch of PC parts to replace my failing computer, and a lot of them came in over those past 3 days. But with every bit of good news, the bad news is that the case that would house all these components was delayed again. I was expecting it to be arriving today on the 3rd. It was delayed to the 10th.
Ooh.
So what's funny, I was talking to Josh about this, about you and your case, because we both find it absurd that you don't want to you have all the parts for your new computer. You could install them into your current case. You would have to take them out and put them in the new case when it comes. But you choose, because it's a choice that you made actively, knowingly. It's a choice that you made.
Yes.
To complain about your failing computer even though you have the parts to make a brand new, amazing computer, but just not in the case that you want.
Well, okay. It just as my argument against that point is the fact that
you don't want to do it again.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't want to do it again in such a quick succession, because I was anticipating it to be shipping out on the 25th on Christmas Day, and then it was delayed to the 3rd, and then it was delayed to the 10th. And now, had I had this hindsight, I would have, in the meantime, went ahead and go like, you know what? I've got all these parts. Let me go ahead and throw them in here. But now it just feels like, okay, I'm 6 days away from
until it's delayed again.
You know, at this point, which is concerning because, like,
I have a question for you, John. How long would it take to install them into your computer with the current case? How long
the only long thing, I mean, everything else is
I just need a simple answer. How long?
2 hours, maybe? 2 hours?
Yeah. Probably 2 hours. But I mean, as far as letting the thermal paste cure is the only thing about that. You know, you want to make sure that it cures a little bit before you actually play on it.
Oh, yeah. For our listeners, he froze right in the middle of that sentence, which is why it's important that he gets all these. You're here now.
He's back.
Okay.
You're here now. You're here.
I'm so tired of that shit. Dude.
I know.
To
that's
illustrate the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. I mean, anyway.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't
You
know.
do you, John.
Yeah, John, I just got to give you a little bit of shit about it, brother. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm right there with you, John, though. I wouldn't have done it either.
No,
I'd have been like,
like that. That's just it. I mean,
it's like
look,
a ritual. You got everything new. You want to like everything to be like.
I don't want to sully it in this old case. I mean, look, that's fair, John. He's made. Are you okay?
Oh no! Okay,
We didn't know if you were frozen.
No, I was. Yeah, go ahead. No, you're good. You have the floor.
Well, okay. Well, hopefully that does work out for you in the next few days. It seems like it's been a bit of a rocky start for us here in 2025.
I don't think that we are unique in that regard either.
Well, no, that's what we're here to do. We're relatable. That's what people like about us.
My
we're starting
yacht
off-
would not start when I tried to take it out in the bay at the Hamptons, and I swear, you can't find good help these days.
Yeah, and I have to get all my yacht parts in before the tariffs start. So, like, it's serious business. Listen, we are starting off the year with episode 20 of this, and you know, we ended the year kind of perfectly with wrapping up book 1 of Drift Delvers, The Perfect Storm. So you guys have had 19 episodes, 2 levels worth of content. Now you guys are level 3. We'll talk about that in a little while. But I wanted to take the opportunity here during our banter portion of the show to ask you what you are thinking about this adventure so far. Kind of what surprises happened for you in the first book? You know, what are you feeling about it thus far?
Well, it's been all surprises, honestly. I don't know what to expect at this point, you know? So we're currently going through all these planes right now. I don't know where we'll end up, you know? And then that's kind of how it's been for all of book 1. You know, I don't know what's happening.
Justin, I'll ask you a specific question to you. You know, you've been on Under the Table, and you were on a couple arcs of STF and Friends, but this is kind of your first foray into a weekly show, and like really digging into Starfinder too, in the sense of planning for a long-term arc with your characters and everything like that. How are you enjoying being in the big leagues, for lack of a better term? How are you enjoying Starfinder versus Pathfinder 2e? You know, how is the podcasting life treating you as our newest member of the cast?
Well, I really enjoy being on the main weekly show, and I enjoy being on UTT. Like, if I didn't have my current job, I would love to just do this, you know?
Same, brother.
Who are you telling?
Yeah, and as far as like Starfinder versus Pathfinder, Pathfinder is like,
I know Pathfinder is your jam.
It's my jam. Can't wait for Starfinder 2e. I know that's contentious, but I love it. The idea of it. I haven't actually played it yet, but yeah, I really enjoy being here. It's fun.
Are you happy with how Gil is developing? Is there something about his development was unexpected, or is it kind of going the way that you had hoped?
Initially, playing Gil, I didn't really know how to play him. I was kind of attached to him, but like, starting the first, second, third, fourth, fifth episode, whatever, I was getting my bearings with Gil, and I think I do know how eventually, I want him to evolve as a player, as a character. But you never know what's going to happen in these to change that idea. But generally, yeah, I love Gil now. Gil's a good character, and I'm interested to see how my idea of the future kind of matches the reality.
Well, cool. We're glad to have you here, and I do feel like in the last 5 to 7 episodes, Gil like really started to settle a little bit, and I'm curious to see where it goes too. Zach, you, when we were putting all this together, had initially some struggles kind of connecting the Vanguard class to this story, like narratively making it make sense. From my perspective, I think Sayun has fit wonderfully into the story, and it really kind of has made a presence on the show and feels naturally part of this. Do you feel like you've made that connection throughout the 19 episodes?
Yes. I think that I, have made it work because I had to go through the laborious process of like connecting all those dots and like, locking in the right way. Now, Sayun is still not the same sort of academic scientist in the way that the rest of the crew is. But I certainly think that he's fits in with the crew. I mean, I'm trying to make him fit in with the crew, but I also want to play the character.
I think it works because of the whole entropy thing, right? And like having this relationship with the void and the drift being all wonky and stuff, like it all kind of like gels. I know you were excited to play the Vanguard. Are you still feeling that class? You like the class?
Oh yeah, I like the class. I like Sayun as a character. I'm very I feel like I have a good handle on who he is and how to play him, I think the biggest thing is I have to get better at doing something that would be funny, but maybe not perfectly in character to yes and my other players more. That is the one thing that I'm like, I feel like I could have done a better job of that so far. But I mean, we're Monday morning quarterback in here, so
right. Well, I was going to say that I think for you, where Sayun really came into the character was during the dinner, which was pretty early, right? But your reactions to your evil twin, what really like stood out to me during that sequence, and I think that's where you like kind of got an idea. All right, this is how Sayun feels about himself and what the perceptions of Kasathans are supposed to be versus what I'm seeing here in front of me, and all that kind of stuff. And your responses and everything, it just felt like, okay, there was the click for Sayun, at least for me.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I enjoyed that whole scene a lot.
Yeah, it was fun. Heath, you two had a little struggle with the building of the character, although it really came down to subclass issues, right?
That was the core of the problem. However, due to that, because I'm a very conceptual character builder, like I need more than just a class, I need a concept to latch onto. So because of that, I scrapped it. I completely started over from square one and came up with Raya in a day, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, Raya is great. She's got a lot of fans early on, as is typical of Heath Parker characters. You usually come out strong and then fall off the rest of the seasons.
The more episodes I get under my belt with a single character, the more I suck, and that's why I just encourage Adam in every show we do. I encourage Adam to kill me, because then I get a fresh start and people will like me again.
I think it's a solid play, dude. I think it's a winning strategy.
Life
it
is
worked for
cyclical
Junker's
like
Delight,
that.
It did work for Junker's Delight. But anyways, Raya's great, and there's some really interesting synergy happening between you and Sayun that I really like from the mechanical side of things.
Same.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Especially sorry to listeners who this is your first show to reference APA, our baby and first show. But in that adventure, I played a very tanky character, but I never had anyone fighting next to me. It was like always people at range and me up there, which I was doing my job, but it's really interesting to kind of tag team the frontliner situation, and that's really refreshing because they're both performing a similar role, but in very different ways. So that's been the fun thing with I feel like Raya's latched onto Sayun more than anybody else, both because Sayun was there when she had some come apart moments, but also because if we view our characters as having jobs, like Sayun and Raya are kind of working together more often than Raya and anyone else.
Well, we have to protect our sweet little precious babies, Subana and Gil.
Yeah.
Our sweet little innocent cinnamon rolls.
Speaking of Sumama,
I'm just a little baby.
John, I know that you were not planning on being the face for this as we were going into this, putting everything together. But once we kind of sat down as a group and realized that we didn't have any charisma in the party, even then it wasn't like, okay, John, you're going to do the face. You just kind of naturally landed in it.
It was a natural fit.
I think it's because like the first real diplomatic interactions were with the Veskarium, and you are the only one that can speak Vesk, or at least
is a Vesk.
Yeah, and is a Vesk. And so like that really was interesting to me to see how that kind of organically came together. And I just want to say, I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again, that I think you're doing a very good job of being the face. It's not an easy role. And Subana is fantastic. She resonates, so probably the most authentic character of the cast in the sense of just like, it just feels so
Subana. Someone like Subana.
Well, that's the thing, is more than any of us, John has observed people that are like his character. All of us are just winging it.
Yep. So what is it? How are you feeling about being the face? Are you anxious? Are you excited? What's the vibe going on in John's head?
No. So like at first, there was a little bit of anxiety, but as challenges have presented themselves, I've been more and more open to them. So for that, I say that I've just been building more and more confidence as a face as challenges have been coming along.
How do you feel about Sue as a character outside of your role as the face?
Shit, I love Sue Mama. She's great. I didn't realize that I had like a spot in my heart for
you had a little maternal streak in you, huh?
Yeah, maternal streak.
Yep.
You're doing great.
You do it well. You know what I mean? You really do play out that maternal thing well. Because as I said, it just feels lived in. You know who she is. You know what she's about. mechanics wise, how are you feeling the precog? I know that like from my experience and every bit of study I've done, that precog doesn't really come online till about 5th or 6th level.
Right.
So like at this point, you're just kind of a mystic light. You know, like you know what I mean? Like because all your class features don't really apply till later.
Right.
That being said, I think you're still being pretty effective in combat, even if it is drawing the ire of some random ad to chase you down.
Hey, if it keeps anybody attacking the others, and hey, why not? You know?
It's called kiting. Thank you.
We learned it back in EverQuest. Okay.
Well, some of us did.
Yeah. We are 20 minutes in, and we're going to keep going with this conversation. I just want to say to our listeners, hey, this is what's happening this episode. So I want you to just sit back and enjoy the conversation. We'll get to the action eventually, I promise. But this is our first episode of 2025.
Tom Talks.
It's our mini Tom Talks right here at the top. What are you guys feeling about having an NPC crew that is there to interact with? Obviously, you'll be able to like have them assist you in any like crafting or purchases you may need. But has that felt interesting to you, or has it felt like kind of tacked on?
I mean, that one's a little difficult, just because I don't know if it was we didn't communicate that much about it or what, but I came in with like, I made a connection. My character knows Jamila, right? Mm-hmm. And I assumed everyone was doing that with one of the characters, and no one else did. So I didn't know. It's like, oh, okay. So it feels, I don't know, it feels weird a little bit in that like I'm trying to make it work and like the rest of it's just like, hey, we got this crew and they are tools for us to use, And I don't mean to be ugly, like put anybody on blast. I just like, I thought, I guess I thought everybody was going to connect to somebody in the crew, and that was not the case.
I will say that I think it's I think you're right in some aspects there, Heath. I think also the fact that the AP has been it's designed for absolute chaos, and so like it limits the amount of time that you can spend on bonding with a particular NPC if you have an NPC to choose. So a lot of the time we are just reacting and we're on the back foot, and frankly NPCs just don't pop into the forefront unless it's hey, crew meeting, here's the situation as is, and that's where I like, because it's kind of interactive in that regard, because you get questions from the NPCs a little bit fleshed out and everything. And I mean, other than engaging them very shortly, I haven't really personally like gone and built any kind of real relationships with any of them. Walter a little bit, but that's about it.
I mean, I really enjoy the concept just because it lets you Adam, flesh out these characters over the long period of time, and they get their own little personality. And also the idea of having, like, being able to take the role of that character if the worst happens, your character dies, and that's as an option. I like that idea. And I like it's almost like we have like a crew of people with professions. We got Lenny. He can craft things, and he can help us out with augmentations and do all these other things, and especially Walter. He's like the heart and soul almost of this, besides us, and he's got his own little personality. And if Gil dies, I'm going to become Walter. I'm going to have that that voice and everything.
You heard it
here. Yeah.
What class is Walter? A mechanic?
There's no classes assigned.
Well, there will be if someone plays it.
That'll be up to the person who's taking on the role, you know?
That can also lead to some weird, I don't know. It's like if somebody died and came in as Walter, and then it's like, okay, but I'm a precog. And it's like, well, we didn't fucking know that about Walter, you know?
Yeah, but like you know,
he's been hiding.
The way that I storytell is that, like, and there is no problem that's insurmountable. There's no, you know, like, we can figure out a way to make it make sense story-wise. You guys are literally catapulting through planes of existence. The suspension of disbelief is not
it's not the biggest hurdle.
Yeah, right.
Well, to the point about the crew, and then I'll quit holding you up. I do think, regardless if each of the characters have a connection with somebody or whatever, it's cool having them there as things we can use and as relationships we can build. But also, so much of the adventure so far has been everything is urgent, right? Like we don't have a ton of time, or at least much of the time we haven't really had time to, like, you know, sit back and have a shot of whiskey with any of the crew members. You know, there have been a couple of minutes, a couple of times there, but like much of the adventure has been responding to like hectic crises, you know?
Right. And so you've got this situation where it's like, would you rather prioritize your time spending with another player or with an NPC to learn with them? You see what I'm saying? Right. I would personally rather spend that time with another PC, you know, and try to figure out what makes Sayun or Raya or Gil tick, you know? And so, yes, it's a great framework. And I love the opportunities that it presents, but that's what they are. They are opportunities. They're just options, you know? And we still got plenty of miles on this AP, I feel, that we can build some meaningful relationships with some of these crew members.
Yeah, and I think we will. Like, as time goes on, like, there'll be more connections made and more just memorable interactions for us to latch on to, you know?
Tits.
Okay, well, noted. I will kill all the NPCs as they do
that's
not matter.
what we said.
Don't you touch Walter.
If you want to piss off your whole fan base by killing Walter, you be my guest.
I guess I'm just a little surprised that you feel that they haven't had a presence, because I don't agree necessarily, but you know, to each their own. You know, I won't pick at that too hard. You know,
I mean, it's not that they haven't been there. It's just that
Carl.
We've had other shit going on so much of the time.
Right. That's
yeah. I'm just saying, like, Walter's been involved a lot. Lenny, there have been several like one-on-ones with Lenny. You know. Some of the other ones, not so much. Jamila, yeah, which is surprising to me because that was the one that you connected to, but you've gone and talked to Lenny, and you've gone and, you know,
well,
like...
For one, Lenny provided me a service that I need a couple of times. Right. Jamila, like, I've made the effort, and the couple of times it's like, I'm going to go talk to Jamila, we've kind of glossed over it and not role-played it. It's like, oh, okay, like, you go and just tell me kind of what y'all are discussing, and then we move on to another thing. You know, like, I haven't really been able to have real conversations with Jamila very much, but Lenny I have. So, like, I mean, I love Lenny. Like, I've made the effort to connect to some of the NPCs, but, like, a lot of them, we just haven't gotten there yet. You know?
Right. One final question I want to ask you in this little mini Tom Talks is that I have made a concerted effort to be better tactically in combat, thus making the combats harder. Have you guys felt that?
Haven't noticed it at all.
Wow.
I'm kidding, dude.
Must be a skill issue on your part.
No. I have definitely felt that just from, you know, the amount of times that Gil has had to not raise me from the dead, but like wake me up.
Only twice.
You've killed me 7 times
get his ass
already.
kicked, so yeah, I noticed.
Kill 7 times, get up 8, right? That's how it goes, right? That's
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely put it to us a few times for sure.
You know, and I mean, there's only 4 of y'all, so I'm not like mechanically amping up the encounters or anything, but I'm studying them and making sure that I'm playing them well and smart, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like that, for me, this adventure has been really fun to, like, dig in to that part of it.
In the combat. Yeah.
Yeah, to dig in on the tactics and be better at that. Because there was a lot of times in APA that, like, I would make bonehead moves over and over and over again, you know, and, like, kind of end up costing some fights to be trivialized, you know?
It's that GM thing of, like, you know, reading over a character's stat block and be like, oh, I got it. And then it comes time to play it a week later and you're in the middle of it. And it's like, oh, I missed like 3 cool things that this character's set up to do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, so it was an interesting first book. We're about to get into the second book. And typically here at STF, we like to role play our level ups, but Level 3 in Starfinder is much more of just like, I don't know, just kind of like a general
it's like
basic power boost.
It's like an upkeep kind of level.
Yeah, it just like tears you up. It's nothing too flashy. It's just like, okay, everybody gets their weapon specialization, so now they're getting to add their ability modifiers to their damage and that kind of stuff. And like, it's just nothing that sexy or like narratively that interesting. So when this happens, you guys are going through the drift as you're escaping from Malacanta, and much like the first time you were hurtled through many planes and stuff, some of that empowers you, strengthens you. And so I just kind of want to just generally, out of character, talk about your level ups. Just give us kind of a little bit of the basic overview of what that means for your classes. And, you know, I don't need what you put points in your skills. You know, if your feat is interesting, you want to talk about it, you can, but really just kind of hit the high points here. Let the listeners know what we got going on.
Okay. Who's going?
I'll go.
I'll go.
Okay. You go.
So old Gil, as the ship is flying through the plains, you know, he feels affected by the energy. Maybe like if some of the energy kind of seeps through him a little bit, kind of expanding his pool of mystic energy. And of course, that comes with another spell, another cantrip, which I will not get into, and of course, being his connection with the drift, or being that's his connection, the drift. The same kind of thing, you know, a further insight into that connection, which gives him the level 3, you know, connection ability, which is pretty neato, and I also will not get into, but he just kind of feels a little bit more than he was just a few moments ago. You know, almost like it wasn't a gradual build up to leveling up. It was kind of this was the impetus of the level up. You know. Yeah,
it was like a noticeable surge. Like you guys all felt it as you were going through here. Yeah. Okay, Zach.
Okay, so in terms of skills, right? Vanguards don't get a lot of skills. So I used this level to take some skill points in some science-y kind of skills that I'm going to just write off or flavor rather as, say, in spending time with this group of scientists and kind of absorbing a little bit of their knowledge. That way I can at least aid on some of these checks,
smart,
like life science and physical science and computers and engineering and stuff that I couldn't before. You know, I couldn't even aid on.
Yeah,
so,
you were just like helpless on.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
how many points did you have to spend in
I don't remember. I did it like a month ago, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Not a lot. You know. But I did take some points to shore up some stuff that I know comes up often, but I can't aid on, and I don't want to like I don't want to be the person doing the check. I just want to be able to throw in a +2 if possible, if I can. At least give it a shot. You know what I mean? Instead of doing nothing. All right. So the big thing for Vanguard at level 3 is reactive, which allows you to take once per day, take an additional reaction during a single round. But the better feature of it is, I think, if you have not acted in your first round of combat yet, like you're low in the initiative order, you can still take a reaction, which I think I will get a lot of value out of.
100%.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, so that's the big. Those are the big things for say. Cool. I took a kip up. I took kip up, the feet kip up.
Yeah, well, to align with your mantra, you know.
Exactly. Yes. So I want to be able to stand back up that 8th time a lot faster.
Makes sense. Heath.
Yeah, it's funny. I was very nervous when Zach said that he was doing a similar thing. For Raya, her core skills are the build that I put together is athletics and mysticism, right? So I kept pushing those up. But I only get 4 skill points. I spent my other 2 in life science. Because I also, and we didn't talk about this, but I also wanted to be able to help out in something else science other than mysticism, but also because it is the skill associated with my evolutionist niche.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I went from a +0 to a +7 in life science, which is pretty huge.
That's
nice.
That's not nothing, you know.
Right. My biotic invigoration, every level that I go up, gets a little bit better. I also get evolutionists get skill boost at level 3, so you get +1 insight bonus to whatever skill is associated with your niche. So
that's how you're getting that +7.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
It would have been +6, but my skill boost gave me another +1. And then you also get to choose from 5 other skills, and I picked athletics. So both of those went up actually to this level. And then weapon specialization is, I feel like everybody, that's important for level 3 and why it's kind of just upkeep stuff. But I get weapon specialization for all weapons that evolutionists are proficient with, but also you get a special weapon specialization for your adaptive strike, which is different depending on if you target EAC or KAC. I target EAC, so my bonus damage is now equal to my evolutionist level. So I went from my adaptive strike being 1d6 +3 to 1d6 +6.
Nice.
And then one of the greatest feats in the game, also one of the most boring in the game, I took toughness, so I will have more stamina equal to my level, and also that fits with with the spec of evolutionist that I picked. It has biotic invigoration, which is all about doing a little bit of stamina healing for 3 turns, and so getting extra stamina and then being able to heal that stamina will help keep me in fights,
Sure. Cool. John?
So for level 3, aside from the weapon specialization that everybody gets, the skill points and spells, which will be revealed later, I took the feat Great Fortitude, just to shore up some what was lacking with my Fortitude save. Which is now a +3. And I guess how I would imagine that is flavored is that it's perhaps some sort of passive conditioning of frequently passing through planes.
Okay. All right.
But that's pretty much mine.
You're
short and sweet.
evolving based on our circumstances.
Perhaps. But I don't want to overlap on that.
Well,
I'm already more of a dragon than you are. No.
Let's
fire.
Yeah, like.
I accidentally let John's character die. Oh.
Okay, so we've chattered on long enough, and it's time to pick back up where we left off. A very climactic end to book 1 as you escaped the ship of Malacanta, right? The devil returned and blamed you all for the utter destruction of the universe, which happened a week after the drift crash. Okay? You guys know that you didn't do that. However, this devil, this Irenes, thinks that you did. And that was, some 200 years in the future,
It really is an unfortunate set of, we're victims of circumstance in that the first time we met this devil, we accidentally pulled a Wizard of Oz and killed her sister, right? And then the second time we meet her, she, with not unreasonable thought, thinks that we caused the drift crisis and committed genocide on accident. But still, it's like, trying to put myself in her shoes, I'm like, I get it. Like, if you believe those things, I'd be pretty mad and want to catch them too.
You also discovered some pretty serious revelations about what the future holds. Somebody did cause all of the drift beacons to be destroyed, including the anomaly beacon that floats around Absalom Station, and it actually centered from that, and all that energy that was stored in that beacon fired back down at the Starstone and blew up the Starstone and just set this wave of destruction across the entire universe, and all the drift beacons were destroyed. And as such, interplanetary society devolved into war, into low tech, to where eventually most of everything was wiped out. While you were discovering all this, there was a couple messages implanted in the Dream Station's computer that you presuming are coming from Desna or from somebody who serves Desna, but they were all Desnian in nature. You kept seeing this image of this large cube-like structure floating in space. You also got some coordinates that were just like on all the screens, and with no option but to trust that these coordinates would save you. During your escape, you plugged those coordinates into your signal chaos engine, and you were catapulted through time and space to wherever these coordinates were going to send you. As you pop out of the signal chaos jump, in your view, a massive black hole fills the screen, surrounded by a chaotic cloud of debris that circles around and moves ever closer to it. Floating hulks of twisted metal, apparently from ruined starships, collide with islands of crumbling rock torn from some unknown planet before tumbling toward the black hall's inky maw. The exposed roots of floating massive trees dangle like grasping fingers. A stone ziggurat spins erratically, obliterating smaller debris in its path. Chunks of sandstone occasionally break off from the intimidating structure and disintegrate. All around the Primarana, pieces of incongruous landscapes float toward the black hole, slowly at first, but more quickly as they near their destination. The Primarana isn't alone. A large and decrepit bulk freighter floats in the distance, emerging from behind a slab of craggy, snow-dusted granite that looks like it was sheared from a mountain's precipice. The stalled ship spins slowly, gaping holes in its hull, exposing the ship's interior to vacuum. Despite the massive damage, emergency lights blink upon the freighter's hull, and light occasionally flickers from its viewports. The mysterious ship drifts slowly but inexorably toward the black hole. I have a picture of this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
God.
It's so good, dude. This picture is so dope. I was
needing that very much. It was. Oh hell yeah!
Yes,
dude.
isn't that dope, dude? I mean,
oh man,
come on, dude,
bro, that's sick as fuck, man.
That looks like
cool
a cathedral
pulsar right
ship.
Yeah, so the ship does very much look like a cathedral.
It's fucking Anne Orlando with a set of jet boosters on the back of it. Or you may also think of it as like a 40K Imperium vessel, one of those like massive ships with all the cathedrals.
It's also like the Taken King ship from Destiny a little bit. You know,
similar to the Dreadnought.
Yeah. So this thing is just listlessly caught in the gravitational pull of the black hole.
And then the black hole itself is quite fascinating because there is this like spiral nebula that it is standing in the center of. I guess all of this stuff is being pulled into the black hole, right? Mm-hmm. Seun would be mesmerized. You know what I mean? Like he's like, don't hand him the controls because he'll steer this motherfucker straight into this black hole. and in fact, I would think Seun might look at the controls and like, you know, be like move his hand to make a move towards it, but like stop himself. You know,
right?
Like,
slaps your hand. Why are you doing?
No. Apologies.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what you see, and that's kind of the situation that's before you. Now, obviously, there's a lot to take in. There's the black hole. There's the freighter. There's trying to get an idea of where you are in space and time. All these things can be done with cool minds and some scans.
Okay.
You know? What do you want to check out first?
I think we should check out the ship first. As cool as the black hole is,
could we separate that? Could like one or two of us be doing checks on one, and the other two be doing checks on the other, or something? I figure. Yeah. I figure some mysticism may be involved in the black hole.
Okay. So let's deal with the surrounding area first because that doesn't require any checks. Okay. You're already proficient in reading quantum signatures, and I feel like Gil, that's the first thing that he would do once you came out of the jump is read the quantum signature. Where are we? What's happening?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
And so it confirms that you have returned to the present time, only seconds after the drift crash occurred. By the presence of some recognizable stars in the area and distant drift beacons, you can locate the Primarana is somewhere in the vast. There are no life signs in any of the floating debris around the black hole, but the debris can be identified as belonging to worlds and planes from across the multiverse, dumped here because of the drift crash.
Mm-hmm. That tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fellas, we're in our own time again, but we're somewhere out in the vast.
Well, at least we got that going for us.
I just wished Desna could just tell us what to do. What the hell do we do now? I guess let's just scan for life signs. Maybe there's someone that needs our help.
Could we get help from a less inscrutable god, perhaps? You know?
Yeah, they're like the god of straightforwardness.
One that's like just scrutable, you know?
Yeah, scrutable.
Okay, so there's two scans. You can scan the black hole or the freighter. I mean, you can do both, but like we can't actually
black
do both
hole
at the same time.
Let's do the black hole.
Okay.
Figure out where we are.
So anybody trained in mysticism or physical science knows that black holes are thought to connect to the negative energy plane.
Indeed.
Which is harmful to all life, but revitalizing to the undead. You would know, saying probably more than anybody, that any living creature who enters the black hole will die. If the Primarana gets too close, it could be pulled into the black hole's gravitational pull and be destroyed. All right? Again, no check needed. This was your field of study, saying you've seen some shit happen just by barely touching it, right?
Yeah, he would certainly relay all that information that he knows to the crew.
So that leaves the freighter, which is kind of the most attention-grabbing thing here outside of the black hole. There is a distress signal broadcasting from this bulk freighter. It identifies it as the vessel known as the Final Horizon.
Ooh.
This is a 3 centuries old Solarian cosmonastery.
That's so fucking cool.
Oh, I'm glad it's not the Event Horizon. All I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
Yeah, so cathedral. I would not have thought Solarian as much. I mean, I feel like it's been brought up several times, but it's like it makes me think Hell Knights or their inverse. You know?
Yeah.
Solarians are very dogmatic, though, with their reverence of the cycle and all that kind of stuff. That is sort of a thing.
Right. Yeah. And while it is Gothic, it does not have the same markings and like telltale characteristics of Hell Knight imagery. You know, like this is very much a large scale ship monastery, right? Cosmo monastery.
It doesn't strike me as
Hell Knights or Knights of Galarian, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't strike me as Kasathan, you know, who have sort of their own.
Well,
vibe.
it's not associated with any one faction as much as it is like this is specifically a Solarian cathedral, you know. So it's all about the Solarianism of things, right? The crew roster for the Final Horizon lists 34 individuals, and you can tell that it is too badly damaged to escape the black hole on its own and has only intermittent power. And so you can tell that it's being slowly pulled to the black hole, and it can't do anything to help itself.
I see.
What do you do?
Well,
Do you think we can haul it out of there?
I mean,
how much power does this engine have?
Boop, 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 boop. This amount of power.
I don't know. Can we tow this bad boy or not?
I mean, presumably you could. Yes. You know, like...
Can we hail the ship?
You could certainly try. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Subana.
all right. Open frequencies.
She opens frequencies. What the hell?
Y'all
You
need
know,
help down
there's a black hole in front of you. Swerve, turn.
Turn that thing.
Y'all seen this black hole sitting right in front of your faces, or what?
All right. So what do you say there, Subana?
Yeah. So Spana kind of just straightens up, even though like there's no telling that there's anybody on the other side. But you know, just, this is the what is our starship named in this?
The Peter Monetary.
Primarana, thank you. Yeah, I had Independence in my head. Okay, yeah. This is the Primarana hailing.
The Primarana?
Primarana
I wasn't
hailing
going to say anything but the R on the end.
What is your designation?
So you send that out, and there's no response, but that distress beacon continues to pulse.
Okay. All right. All right. We don't have any response.
Can we scan for life signs?
You did. There's,
We did.
there's
34 crew members.
Oh, 34. Okay, I thought that was the total manifest.
As you got, you know, it's been a minute or so, and then boop, your comms do fire up,
Yes, hello.
and you just hear through the comms. There's no video. No video gets posted up. You just hear it through the comms. I am Cora, the guiding intelligence that operates this vessel. My primary mission is to supplement crew functions and maintain systems aboard the Final Horizon. My secondary mission is to aid all occupants in obtaining enlightenment.
Thank you very much.
A noble goal.
Do you have any records as to what has happened to the crewmates? They are not responding.
The crew of the Final Horizon has taken emergency shelter and begun preparations for their deaths. As such, they are currently unavailable. Fortunately, I am authorized to negotiate for help on their behalf and can speak 17 languages. As far as what has happened, I was performing routine autopilot functions in the drift when a planar anomaly occurred. ejecting us from the drift. Surrounded by dangerous debris, most of it from other planes, we have sustained serious damage. Most systems are offline. The living occupants are safe, thanks to environmental protections in their clothing. But without main power, I cannot steer the ship away from danger.
Well, it looks like we have a mission in front of us, Jim. Crew, it looks like we need to go ahead and rescue. A little rescue operation.
Sagan would chime in and say, Cora, right?
Yes.
What would you have us do?
This vessel has experienced a loss of power and is caught in the gravitational well of the nearby black hole, and is threatened by the Singularity's cloud of planar debris. The final horizon requires towing and immediate repair. If your vessel can bring the final horizon out of immediate danger, the occupants of this ship may be interested in the black hole and wish to study it. They belong to a religious order dedicated to attaining enlightenment through the understanding of stellar energies, and it is my mission to assist them.
Alright, before he hits the comms again, Sagan's like, Do we have a tow cable? And he's like looking around at the crew, you know? I don't want to tell this lady that we can help, and we don't have the equipment to do so, you know? I don't know. I don't know what's on this ship.
Professor Fell would definitely equip this ship with a tow cable.
As a matter of fact, he did.
Good. I'm much more worried. The tow cable was not my immediate concern. It was the crossing into the Singularity's gravity well to be able to tow them that seemed like the troublesome part.
Well, you keep in mind that you do have power on your ship, and you have thrusters that can...
We got pretty strong thrusters powered by an engine of eldritch origin with power.
You will not be using the Signal Chaos engine for this. You'll be using your conventional thrusters.
Okay.
Yeah, but you do have... I mean, it's enough, right? Like, it's powerful thrusters to do. The issue here is that the Cosmonastery has no power and therefore cannot fly out themselves and is just trapped in their gravitational well.
Yeah,
now,
so
it will be difficult. It will be difficult because of the debris that's flying around and the gravity that would be affecting your ship, but it's not impossible.
All right, Walter, take us in for towing range.
Listen, I'm not really a certified pilot. I mean, I've done like 900 of my 1,000 hours, so I'm pretty close. But,
That's 900 more than we've got.
You're the best we've got.
Okay,
here, Walter.
well, I guess that's a fair statement. I just... flying into a black hole, it's a bit unnerving.
Sounds exciting, doesn't it, Walter?
Well, move over, Walter. I've done 20 hours at the simulator at Dave & Buster's. I got this.
You know what, Kittle? I'll try my best. I would feel more comfortable in my tusk if you let me do this. I just needed to let you know that this might be very difficult.
We're all here for you. You got this.
I just love that Gil's like, I played Hydro Thunder at CC's Pizza. I got this.
It was in my younger days, but I'm sure I remember a few things.
Okay, so...
Given the circumstances, Walter.
We're going to let the NPC that doesn't matter be the one in charge of this, right? That's what we're...
Well, none of us are pilots.
I know. That's why he matters. God damn it.
Yeah, Walter's the
It's
best.
literally his job. Also, how'd you get this job if you weren't certified? You lied.
That's true. I thought I was just carrying us across the universe. I was not expecting a drift crash, as it were.
Well, to be
But
fair,
here
none
we
of
are.
us were. Yeah.
Here we are.
I didn't
okay.
plan on turning it into a half dragon either, but here we are.
Yeah, but your thing is so much cooler than my thing.
That's fair.
What is your thing, Walter?
I don't know yet. One of you will have to die before we can find out what my thing
His
is.
tusks grow just like a
That is a
micrometer
very
away.
strange way of phrasing that. But I'll let that one slide.
Is Tusk Sweat a thing?
You've made it a thing for sure.
Excellent.
It makes
Ryan-
your tusks glisten wonderfully, Walter. Don't sell
Right.
yourself short.
Raya quietly turns to say and is like, 5 credits on precog. That was his thing.
Okay, so I do want y'all to roll. Walter has currently a +7 to piloting.
Okay.
It will take you 2 successful checks to do this. However, we need to roll initiative.
Okay.
We're going to do this in initiative rounds here.
Okay.
All right, so who's going to roll for Walter?
I will.
All right, great. Go. I need you to roll initiative. D20 +8, please. Or sorry, +2.
I was like, damn, Walter +8.
Walter's got some serious ass initiative. He gets that big body moving quick.
Plus
No,
He's
two.
an operative. That's
Yeah,
why.
+2. Yes.
12.
Okay, great. Here's the deal. So you guys are going to go with the towing.
Oh yeah, we probably need to let
Route.
Cora know like we're going to try to assist. Right.
Sure, you can do that before initiative is rolled.
Okay.
If somebody wants to do that, yeah.
All right.
So Cora. Okay, go ahead. You got it.
No.
You got it. You got
Oh,
it,
okay,
face.
okay,
You
yeah.
got it.
Cora, you still there?
Yes.
All right, look, there might be a little bit of a tug, but we're going to be pulling you in, okay? Pulling you away from that nasty black hole.
That mean old black hole.
That black hole exists merely to serve its function. It has no malice.
Sure, sure. And don't think I didn't forget you almost tried to steer us right into it, too.
I do not know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you got
Alright.
a weird
Subana?
hard on for this black hole.
Satan just kind of trails off and like just stops talking.
It's like, oh, I got to
Giggling.
myself here.
You may want to go ahead and pass on that information to your crewmates as well. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that somebody's going to be pulling them out of there.
Oh, see, I actually lied. I killed them like a week ago. Sorry.
It was very quick, efficient, just removed all
Didn't
the
expect
oxygen.
anybody to come along, and now I'm just kind of shooting from the hip, you know?
I figured they want to be just pushed into the black hole. It's their religion, right?
Like, yeah, what if Cora is actually the Void Explorer and she wants to send the whole ship through just to see what's on the other side?
Get your hands off those controls, Dave.
Dude, this art is sick as a motherfucker too, man.
It's so good. It's so good. So, okay, so you told her that there's going to be a little tug, and she says, "This is acceptable. Best of luck." Yeah, so we're going to need to do... We're going to start with Gilderon, all right? So the situation here is you're trying to get to the final horizon. They'll take some piloting checks, but in the meantime, you got to get the cable ready. So that's going to take 2 successful engineering checks. Okay, and then there'll be some other checks once you get there. But to get it started, somebody can go run to the cargo bay and start with getting the cable rigged. So
Oh, shite! I gotta load the cable, and then he pitter patters behind.
Do you need a strength check for that kind of thing, or what? I mean, because
it's going to be an engineering check.
okay,
Yeah, you just got to know where to put it. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Load it into the rack. Spool it. It's spooling. All right. Okay, let's do this. All right, that's a 23.
All right, so yeah, you get it, and it's right where it should be, so you don't have to carry it far. You just take it out of its like little compartment and screw on one side into, or you bolt on one side because you got like one of those. Like you remember in Expanse, in the early episodes of the Expanse, when they're like patching the holes and they just like have that little gun there to like kind of seal it up. So that's what you're doing. You get the one end locked in to your part of the ship. Yeah. So that's good.
I imagine like the towing cable is not just a big cable. It's like a canister, like spring loaded and already spooled, that like mounts onto like a platform, you know?
Yeah, totally. Okay, Walter's up, so Heath, I need you to roll a piloting check with a +7.
Well, I've rolled 2 10s on the die in a row. That's a 17.
Okay, so the first check, Walter like bears down, you know, like wipes the sweat off of his tusk and like puts his flippers
uses his flippers to wipe his tusks.
Yeah. And kind of navigates the Primarana, kind of dodging through some of this debris. So that's one success, and we have one success on the engineering.
Nice.
Subana, you're up. You can attempt to aid or encourage your crew here to give a +2 bonus to any ally. So that is something you can do. And there's also magical aid that can be done as well.
Okay, give me some what's up with the magical aid?
So, you know, if you were to try to concentrate on the black hole and the surrounding region, you could perceive something. Depends on how you roll with that mysticism check, but there might be something there that you could interact with. You know, you being a precog, understand that there's potential time dilation in black holes, so that might be something that you could exploit.
Okay, actually, I do like that idea. So she just kind of puts all her focus on the black hole through the view screen to see if she can suss anything out about it.
Okay, let me get a mysticism check.
All right. 18 on the die for a 24.
Okay. You start seeing some fractal patterns in your computer screens as it's like assessing the black hole. And those fractal patterns start taking shape that look like butterflies. And you hear melodious chimes and softly beating wings that echo throughout your ship's collision alarms. With the success, you can exploit the time dilation around the black hole and earn yourself this round free of having to dodge the debris, which is a thing that happens every round. So with this success, you basically are saving yourself from potentially getting hit by debris.
Right. I feel like she would kind of like be able to surmise that and like see the trajectory before it even arrives, you know?
So you can do this once for free. If you want to do this in any further rounds, you must look deep inside you and harness your resolve to maintain this connection to the fractal time dilations, which would cost you 1 RP.
Okay. All right.
To continue
Noted.
that. All right. Sayun,
the black hole ate my fractal.
Not really. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what to do. I don't really have anything that I know that I can do.
Go to the engineering bay and offer a
that was the best thing I could think of. So Sayun will make his way down to the engineering bay to check on Gil's progress with the
and perhaps it might be you that floats out of the ship to attach the tow cable, given your athletics.
The way us big dumb strength characters are going to help is we're going to literally use our arms to pull the cable. You know?
Right? Yeah, definitely. Because like somebody's going to have to spacewalk out to attach it to the ship.
Sayun will do that.
All right. Can do that. So you spend your turn to move down to the bay and aid next time Gil rolls, right?
Yeah. So let me. Do I need to roll that?
So you'll do that when Gil
Very
goes.
good. Very good.
All right. Raya?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boot.
Stop in the same boot.
We're sharing a boot. No, I'm kind of in the same boot as Sayun. Did I say boot again?
You did.
My brain's all flustered now. I'm in the same boat as Sayun in that I am athletics and mysticism. So I can do something with either one of them. Do I need to just also go aid?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Well, I will do that.
Excellent. So Gilderon's turn. Sayun and Raya have arrived, and they are going to help you, I guess, make sure that you spring the coil properly. So let's get some aids.
All right, aid on engineering.
Correct, yep.
Okay, I am trained in that now, so that's nice. Oh, boy, that's a 21. That's a successful
Nice.
aid.
You have to spool it slow so it doesn't go crazy in space. All right, that's a 21.
Did you aid, Raya?
I can't aid engineering. I said I've got athletics and mysticism.
Okay. My bad. Okay. Well, that is a success there. So you now have the tow deployed, but Walter's got to get you close enough to do it, and it's his turn. So Heath, roll that piloting check to see if he can get you close enough to the ship.
So I just didn't do anything?
Nope.
Cool. All right. Another 10. It's 17. That's
All right,
that's
well,
three
that's a
10s in a row.
That is a success, and so Walter, despite being 100 hours short of his license, manages to bring the Primarana abreast of the final horizon, leaving you positioned to attach the tow cable. Now, in order to attach this cable, it requires a character in their environmental protection suits to fly out there with an athletics check. Subana's up. Are you going to try to maintain your connection to the fractals?
Absolutely. My crew is out there
You see them out there, right?
Yeah.
Like this almost like harbors back to the dreams that you had where your crew was spacewalking towards the space station and you were trying to keep them safe and calm and all that kind of stuff. So
right. And so this would be a nightmare scenario right here, that they're exposed where they are right now.
Did you just say that this was going to be a nightmare scenario? Do you know that is the name of this book?
Yes, I in fact did. In fact, I should get a...
I was going to give you an inspiration, but if you knew it, then no.
That means you looked it up and cheated.
I did not look it up, but
so
I should get
go ahead and roll that mysticism check and spend that resolve point, please.
All right, mysticism check. Use the same die. Help me out. No, it didn't. Not this time around. I got a 3 on the die for a total of 9.
Yeah, that will not do it. Yep.
But I am level 3.
You are.
And I do have paradoxes.
Yes.
And it's let me just double check. Yeah, skill checks. Yeah, for skills which I am trained, which mysticism I am trained.
But they're not rerolls.
No, but they're not. No, you have to
declare beforehand.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I wasn't thinking. Okay.
If I could
turn back time.
Yeah. All right, so you're suited up.
Yes, I mean, Sagan would definitely tap the button on his neck that causes his helmet to just expand and become more than just the mask, but a full face helmet, with a visor and all that.
That would be really impressive on a Kasatha. There's so many more steps with your long head.
I feel like there's got to be a bunch of different plates, layers. You know what I mean? That deploy in sequence.
Before you do that, Heath, you do have the option to encourage Sayun with a bit of an intimidate. If you succeed at this check, you would give Sayun a +4 bonus.
I'll try. I'm not great at it.
I don't want you to do another round of nothing. So you want me to sit here and do nothing?
I mean, same.
You got any inspirations?
Very limited number of skills involved in this. I don't need an inspiration. I rolled an 18, so I have a 22 total.
Okay. Well, the DC was 19, so you had to roll high to get there, but you did. Sayun, you have a +4 bonus now. So what do you say?
Yeah, Sayun and Raya are standing face to face with each other as he's getting ready to make the spacewalk. What kind of...
So seeing that Sayun was all weirdly horny about the black hole earlier, she's mostly worried about that. She trusts in your strength and your composure and everything, but it's like, hey, if you get out there and get distracted by the black hole and get us killed, I'll bring you back and I'll kill you myself.
Okay. Sayun, he considers it, like he's really like thinking through all of the logical steps of if Raya actually could do all of these things, and then ultimately comes to the decision that it's not about whether she actually can or not. No. It's about her wanting to, let him know that she wants him to do well, wants him to stay focused, and that she cares enough to be forceful about it, right?
Yeah, I love it. It's like very literal at first. Like, you can't.
Yeah, that's exactly his thought process. So, Sayun he'll put his hands, like his upper hands on Raya's shoulders, and he'll also put his lower hands kind of on her, her biceps, right? Just kind of like sitting, and he says, Raya, I appreciate your concern. However, understand that should the worst come to pass, my fate ultimately lies beyond that black hole. That said, I will do my best to return to the ship.
Is this supposed to be encouraging? Now I'm more worried.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, with that, he just like he grabs the cord and he gets ready. Like what are we gonna fire this thing out and he's just gonna ride it or what?
No, you're gonna grab one end of it and jump out.
Okay.
And use your momentum to pull it out towards the Cosmonastery. So let's go.
Okay,
we catapult it and you ride it like a surfboard.
He grabs the cord and then before he forgets, he turns to Gil and does a slight bow with a hand on his chest. Then he does a slight bow to Raya with his hand on his chest.
Safe travel, Sayun.
Let's begin. And he jumps.
All right, roll in athletics.
All right.
With a +4.
+4.
Okay, Walter, just keep it steady.
All right, I'm doing my best. I can feel it pulling.
Dude,
I can feel it pulling.
I think I rolled about as good as I can get on. I rolled a natural 19 with 11. So
it's a dirty 30.
No, dirty 30. Wow.
Nice.
Dirty 30.
Nice.
First one of Drift Delvers, I think. Maybe not. I could
just
be
like
wrong.
Super Saiyan launch off the back of that thing.
Literally.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah. So you do. You, I mean, you can describe it if you want.
He just jumps it very elegant, very gracefully, as if
he's got like 2 arms around it, and then his other 2 arms are like wings, like keeping him stabilized.
Yeah, and he's out there, he's floating.
So you do, and you like get to the hull of the Cosmonastery and get the thing locked into place. Now you are attached. All right. We're at the end of the round though. And because our boy, John, failed to succeed as Sumama.
Failed to succeed. You passed your failure check.
You didn't fail. You just failed to succeed. You see?
Failed to succeed.
There's nuance there.
This debris comes hurtling around with Sayun out on his own.
Oh, no.
And the rest of you, a couple of you standing in the cargo bay, and Gil and the rest of the crew at the bridge.
Shit.
Okay.
I feel Subana would actually try to say it. She catches it at the last second, but it's just like too late. She says, "What? Sayun, watch out!" And it's just as it happens.
I need reflex saves from everybody on the ship.
Oh, not me?
Yeah, no, and you. Sorry. Yeah, you most importantly.
I was like, do I get a freebie on this one? Okay.
Thanks to your bravery, you do not have to do this check.
I like it. I like that.
I am going to use a paradox on this.
You can use it for saves now?
Reflex saving throws as of level 3.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm going to use one of my 3, and that's going to be a 19. Just a 19.
Okay, 19. All right.
If you couldn't hear my hiss in the line, I did just roll, and it was a natural 1.
That's not great.
I slam against the side of the ship, and I just splatter
I'll
across
tell
the
you
wall.
what. Yeah, you just splatter into a million pieces.
You look like a Jackson Pollock painting on the wall.
What it is Dustin was so eager to play Walter, he just unalived himself.
Sacrifice skills.
Yeah.
All
Walter,
right,
I'm coming for you.
So Subhana passed with a 19. Gil failed with a natural 1. What about Sayun?
Sayun rolled a 17 total. Which is, I feel like I could go either way, you know?
Yeah. All right, what about you, Heath? What did Raya roll?
21.
All right. So here's the situation.
I'm just a little dude.
I'm just a little
All
guy.
right, well, but you're on the ship. So, all right. So, however, you are going to take full damage here, Gil. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as one of the pieces of debris collides the ship and rocks the whole ship. Okay, 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Raya and Subhana will both take 3 points of damage. Okay, because you saved. Z,
yeah?
you out there?
I know, dude. Oh, God,
with
bro.
a 17.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And because you're not on the ship, you don't take any concussive damage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you have a higher risk, right? So if you pass your save, you're good. But if you had failed your save, you would have been knocked off the tether, floating into space, and taken a significant amount of damage. So, Desna be praised.
Desna be praised indeed.
All right.
It's fine. I would have went and got you so I could kill you myself.
Right.
That's good. I'm glad to know that Raya would come get him.
All right. We're at the top of round 3 here. You are attached. It really just, at this point, comes down to Walter getting out of here. I'll let you guys make the choice. He can go at regular speed. He would need to succeed at 3 piloting checks at an easier DC. He can push the ship. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're towing the ship, right? So, okay. So there's not an option here. I misread pushing. One of the options you can do to save it is actually physically push the ship with your ship out of the way.
Right.
And so I thought it meant like straining the ship, but no.
We can draft that bad boy out of there.
Yeah. So it will be 3 checks, 3 piloting checks. Now, I want to give you guys some options here now that we're just basically trying to fly out. The debris field that's circulating, there's some things that you can do about it. All right. A science officer can roll a computer's check to plot the course of the debris to try to avoid it. A gunner can try to shoot it out of the air as it's coming. Although, Sayun, you are not in a position to gun at the moment.
I am.
But yeah, so those are some options. And of course, aid and encouragement is still available, and that magical connection to the fractals is still an option too if you want to spend more resolve.
Is it like so let me ask you about that. Is that like limited, like each one can only be done by one person, or could we like double up?
The magical aid is the only one that's limited.
Ah, okay. Damn it. I was like, I got a ton of mysticism. I'll do that.
Okay, so Gil, what do you want to do?
All right, he is sitting at the computers, and he says, doing a full sensor sweep of all the debris, trying to track trajectories. Let's see if we can get you through this safe, Walter. And I'm going to roll computers. And that's a 14 total.
14 total. Meets beats, bro.
Oh, God, thank you.
I thought you failed for
I thought it was a fail.
All right, Walter, let's get that piloting check. He's like,
Oh, that was close one with the debris. Thank you for giving me the right course.
That's all we can do to help, Walter? You just gave us like 3 or 4 options.
It's Walter's turn. Like on your turn.
So our turn, it would be for next turn.
Right,
to aid for next turn. Okay.
Well, it's just to... So you have basically negated the debris roll at the end of the round now by succeeding at that computer's check. Nice. So there won't be debris roll at the end of the round.
Okay. Right. So I won't have anything to do again.
Well, you got your boy Sayun still out there. You know, you could probably help get him in easier. Walter is going to roll that piloting check, so let's see. Let's get that check there.
And what's his modifier?
+7.
+7, okay. That is a dirty 20. I rolled a 13.
Okay. That is a success. That is one success, but it's harder to drive out now. You're pulling against the gravitational pull while you have this ship towed, but you hear the creaks as this thing is being pulled. Well, you don't hear it because it's the vacuum of space, but pretend like you hear it.
You would
imagine it.
If there was atmosphere, you would totally hear this thing creaking.
You would totally hear it. I would say you certainly feel the vibrations.
He's on the ship, right?
Yeah. You certainly feel the vibrations and the tow cable go taut. You know, like as it starts pulling.
He's hanging on all 4, putting all 4 into it.
Nice, Subana. You gonna keep on your fractal game?
So, I mean, at this point, is there a need to do that?
No, there's not.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So, as far as encourage, who could I encourage?
You can encourage anybody because you have comms. So, any of your crewmates, who's left to go this turn?
Right. Is
Raya and Sayun, and Raya's probably gonna try to aid Sayun to come back in. So you can encourage Sayun over the comms.
And just so I kind of have a picture of where Sayun is right now.
He is on the end of the tow cable that's connected to the Cos Monastery and will need to make his way back to your ship.
All right. So she's going to open up comms to a private message to Sayun. It says, Sayun, how you doing out there?
I believe I have successfully attached the tow cable.
Oh, I can't wait to have you back in here. I swear you're madder than a wet Defrix. I will tell you now, though, whenever you get back in, we'll make sure that you get yourself a warm room and make sure you get fed.
Very kind of you, Subana.
All right, roll that diplomacy check.
All right.
Thought you were going to say warm bath.
No. All right, diplomacy check. So there are some bonuses that are attached to this. So let's see.
So you're not going to get the D6 on this. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that extra D6.
Okay, well,
on
cool.
this one,
that's all right because I did a 24
without the D6.
Yes.
All right, so that is a success. So Sayun, you'll have a +2 from the encouraging words of Sumama. Raya, you're up. You're in the cargo bay on your side of the tow cable. You know, you don't really want to pull the tow cable because it's attached, but you can try to reach out to catch Sayun as an aid, right, for him to do his spacewalk back. Try to pull him in as he gets close. I'll let you choose between athletics or acrobatics, whichever you're best at.
I'm all athletics. I'm literally negative acrobatics.
Yeah, so you can roll athletics to assist Sayun.
Okay. What's my modifier? 7. Okay. 18. I rolled an 11.
11, 18 total. That is, of course, an aid, right? All you had to get was a 10. So we're at Sayun. However, Sayun, before you start to make your way back, that ziggurat crashes into the final horizon.
Oh, shit.
Rocking the ship, and you see two monks spill out of one of the holes of the hull into open space. You are within reach of grabbing them, but they are drifting away from their ship.
Okay, well, he's gonna try to grab them, I suppose.
This sounds like a job for a man with 4 arms.
He's got a few extra arms for these things. This is why I've got them, you know?
Mm-hmm. How far away from the Primorana is the horizon?
Space is nebulous. Yeah.
I don't really know. If it matters based on something you're trying to do, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I wouldn't imagine too far, but not too close to risk, smashing into each other. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing about the monk, and so I'm going to let Zach and Sayun make this decision on how much you care about saving this monk. It's going to take you 3 turns to do it, because it's going to take you an acrobatics check to get to the monk. It will take you an athletics check to grab them, and then an acrobatics check or athletics check to return to the ship. There are 2 of them out there.
So that's 6?
Well, or Raya, you could jump out and try to help too. But this is the situation that we're in. What would you like to do with your round, your turn this round, Sayun? I mean, and just picture this while you're thinking.
I know I am.
The ziggurat just like comes whipping around this orbit of the black hole and just smashes into the nose of the already just, broken final horizon. And you just see 2 bodies catapult out about, 60 feet away from you out of the top.
Are these coming? So do these monks come out of the ziggurat? Or do they come out of the...
They came out of the final horizon.
The final horizon.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, we're here on this mission.
Gear on. Because they were presumably in one of the areas where there was a hole to try to working on repairing that hole. And this, because it got rocked, they got knocked out,
Okay. Sayun sees these monks... he obviously, it recoils from the shock and everything like that, hangs on as much as he can, looks around, assesses the situation, sees these monks that are drifting out, and knows that they will head straight into that black hole if he does not intervene. And this weird twinge of jealousy comes over Sayun, and he thinks to himself, not without me, you aren't. And he is going to make that acrobatics check, jump, and try to grab them however he can.
Fucking go, son of a bitch!
All right, so Raya, I am going to let you take your turn after this, as things have changed since it's your turn. You know what I mean? Because now your assistance to him matters not. Because he's not trying to come back to the ship. So you will just note that you will still have a turn after this. All right, so Sayun, let's get that that acrobatics check with no aids here. This is just straight up.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty good at acrobatics.
All right.
19.
Okay, that is a success. Woo! So you get to the monk, and when you get to the monk, he has a helmet on, and you could just see terror in his eyes, in this monk's face, but like kind of pleading relief when you get to him. All right, so you're there. We'll see what happens next. Raya, what are you gonna do?
So did he get both of them?
No, he only got one.
Just one.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the problem. I want to go be a big fucking hero.
Yep.
Also, I have a negative modifier to acrobatics. So, the athletics, I pretty well got it. The acrobatics, God, it will take a good roll. You
You have inspiration, right?
No, I used them all last episode.
You used all of them?
Yeah, I used them I had 2, and I used them back-to-back turns.
It's 2025. I'll give you an inspiration if you use it for this roll.
Oh, I'm going either way. I just might also get this guy killed.
All right, go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Okay. For
this
the
inspo.
Okay.
Yep.
Do these monks have their helmets on and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 20 for the inspiration.
All right, great.
Nice.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah. Here's the deal. That natural 20 got you an Alex inspiration.
What a joy!
Tight.
What a reward!
Okay. All right, here we go, Alex. Where the fuck is the goddamn beach episode, Adam? I want to see all these hot-ass PCs and all their sexy NPC friends kicking it on a beach somewhere. I'm like, I don't know, Eox or Akaton or whatever. I want to know what type of banana hammocks Gilderon is rocking. I want to see some anime-ass fan art of saying fat ass in a sequence One Piece. You are depriving us of this content. Give the people what they want, for fuck's sake, coward.
To answer your question, bedazzled.
Bedazzled, yeah. Bedazzled. Oh my god, a glitter banana hammock?
It's like rhinestone. Oh my god.
You will have glitter in your crack until the end of time.
Forever.
My face is up here.
Yeah, so Raya sees also thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Raya sees that freaking glint in Seiyun's eye. She warned him, don't do this, don't feel the pull of the black hole. And he's like, oh, this is my excuse, as far as she's concerned. And he sees him like hauling himself back in towards the ship, and then the ziggurat hits, and these 2 guys fly out, and he's like, oh, piece of candy, and just takes off. And she's like, son of a bitch. I said I'd go after him, and I'm going, and jumps.
Nice.
and it's going to go.
Let's get that acrobatics check.
Are they all acrobatics? I thought you said some were athletics.
The first one is acrobatics to get to them.
Okay. Good deal. Okay. I rolled a 17.
Okay.
But I have a -3.
-3?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's what my Hephaestus
I thought you said it was a -1.
No, I said I had a negative modifier, and I was cagey about it because it's embarrassing.
Okay, so you have a -3.
So I got a 14.
Well, you have the inspiration.
If you'll let me retroactively apply it. I didn't know
Well,
if
no, I
athletics or
said that the
acrobatics
inspiration had to be for this roll. You're jumping out.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
So then it's 16.
16 is a... We'll see ya.
You love me.
Cold.
2025, y'all.
That was colder than the vacuum of space, man. Damn.
Damn, dude.
Thanks for listening to the STF Network. If you want to hear more from us, check out our other Starfinder and Pathfinder shows at the STFnetwork.com. That's the STFnetwork.com. And support us on Patreon to listen to our bonus podcast, including our homebrew adventures and Tom Talks, our behind-the-scenes show. Stay groovy, possums.